Trump is going to accept a luxury plane, a whole airplane from Qatar. And Trump's going to use it, put it up full mast. Yeah. He already has a plane, by the way. He's just going to get another one. We pay for the first plane. The Trump administration is set to accept a luxury plane from Qatar for Trump to use as Air Force One, and what could be the most expensive gift to the United States from a foreign government in the history of the nation. The Trump administration is preparing to accept this super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. It will be available for use by President Donald Trump as the new Air Force One until shortly before he leaves office. Then ownership of the plane will be transferred to Trump again, to the Trump Presidential Library. Sources familiar with the arrangement told ABC News. Air Force One, yes. Air Force One is any plane that the current president of the United States is traveling on. Air Force One is not typically a designated plane. Air Force One is wherever he's traveling on the plane. The gift had been expected to be announced next week when Trump visits Qatar on the first foreign trip of his second term, according to sources. But a senior White House official said the gift will not be presented or gifted while he is in Qatar. We're glad to hear that. The issue, and I know some people are going to say, what's the big deal? He's getting a plane. He's not getting a plane, he's getting a bribe. That's the issue. He's corrupt, that's the issue. Nobody who understands business, economics, politics, and power would give a human being a jet and expect not a damn thing in return. All right, in social media, this was a post on Sunday night. Trump confirmed his administration was preparing to accept the aircraft, calling it a, quote, very public and transparent transaction. Damn, when Trump says it is not, all right? So very public, very transparent. It's the opposite. Trump had previously toured the plane. It's known as the Flying Palace while it was parked at the West Palm Beach International Airport. The highly unusual and unprecedented arrangement is sure to raise questions about whether it is legal for the Trump administration and ultimately the Trump Presidential Library Foundation to accept such a valuable gift from a foreign power. Who's going to prosecute him? He put simpletons in charge of the government because they don't know what the hell they're doing anyway. And they're all, well, they want to be part of the cult. And so they would do whatever he says. Of course, it's not legal. Anticipating those questions, sources told ABC News that lawyers for the White House and the Department of Justice, lawyers for the Department of Justice, which would be the prosecuting agency of Trump, the Department of Justice lawyers drafted an analysis for the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, concluding that actually it is legal for the Department of Defense to accept the aircraft as a gift and later turn it over to Trump for the Trump Library, and that it does not violate laws against bribery or the Constitution's prohibition on any U.S. government official accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state. Just keep that up for a second. It does not violate laws against bribery, that's one set, or the Constitution's prohibition of any U.S. government official accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state. The Constitution expressly bans the operation or the transaction based on the transaction, not based on the genesis or the motive for said transaction. Sources told ABC News that the Attorney General Pam Bondi and Trump's top White House lawyer, David Warrington, concluded it would be, quote, legally permissible. They're just saying stuff. They're not actually citing anything. For the donation of the aircraft to be conditioned on transferring its ownership to Trump's presidential library before the end of his term, according to sources familiar with their determination. Let me tell you what the bright line is in this whole damn story. Trump plans to not be president one day. If for nothing else, for him to have that plane all to himself. I am happy that for the first time, we're actually hearing something normal. And what's normal? Trump leaving after his 8 years because you don't get to come back. This is actually a normal thing. White House press secretary, put her up, said in a statement, ABC News, quote, any gift given by a foreign government is always accepted in full compliance with all applicable laws. President Trump's administration is committed to full transparency. Ali Al-Ansari said in a statement that the transfer of an aircraft for, quote, temporary use, as Air Force One is current under consideration by Qatar's Minister of Defense and the U.S. Department of Defense. Temporary use was utilized intentionally because that's the caveat, that's the loophole in the law that they're utilizing, that it is basically a loan, not a gift. And this loan, this thing I'm letting you borrow, when you are finished being president, you're going to give it back. And then what we're going to do is give it back to you. The plans to receive the plane. The plane will initially be transferred to the United States Air Force, which will modify the 13-year-old aircraft to meet the U.S. military specifications required for any aircraft used to transport the President of the United States. Multiple sources familiar said the plane will then be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation no later than January 1, 2029. And any costs relating to its transfer will be paid for by, they say the U.S. Air Force, but that means us, the taxpayer. According to aviation industry experts, the estimated value of the aircraft will inherit is about $400 million. And that's without the additional communication security equipment the Air Force will need to add to properly secure and outfit the plane in order to safely transport the commander-in-chief. You already know Trump is going to be extra. Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer responded. Chuck, where you been, man? Chuck, where you been? Now you say something about the damn plane, Chuck. Chuck Schumer said something. Quote, nothing says America first like Air Force One, brought to you by Qatar. It's not just bribery, it's premium foreign influence with extra leg room. But good for you for saying something, Chuck. Jackson, the man has openly accepted the largest publicly known bribe in the history of the United States of America. What say you?
I mean, it's just like, it really doesn't get more corrupt than Donald Trump in his second administration.
Right.
The first one was, we got a little taste of that. But this one, whether it be a whole plane, we're going to give you a whole airplane, or the tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars that certain individuals within his administration paid to be there. Obviously, we got Elon Musk, we got Linda McMahon, who paid $20 million to be where she is. All the rest of the corrupt individuals, TV casting that he has in his administration. I mean, how many hundreds of millions of dollars has he taken from his constituents, from his voting base, and then didn't do with it what he was supposed to? He was supposed to invest the money into campaigns, and he never ended up doing it.
Never did.
He sells guitars, Bibles. He's always just hustling everything. You name it, he's selling it to his people. Like, he is the most corrupt president we've ever had in American history, and he is far from finished. Because the American people and the criminal justice system in this country have told him time and time again, yes, you can go out on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody in the head and you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's quite unbelievable. And at some point, I'm waiting for MAGA to remind us of that fiscal conservative fire they had for firing federal workers and wasting taxpayer money.